Hello students, in this video we're going to teach you everything that you need to know to understand credential stuffing. Let's get started. Firstly, credential. What is a credential? Essentially, a credential is nothing more than a claim and a proof. For example, the claim is the username and the proof is the password. We've now handled the term credential. Moving on to stuffing. At its heart, stuffing means testing. However, stuffing also implies two other things: testing at a large scale and testing information that is stolen. Now, when you reflect on this, a few questions may come to mind. For example, what and where did these username and password pairs come from? Well, a lot of them come from the dark web. Another question that you may ask is, where are these credentials being tested? There are many places, and many times they're very popular services and companies with large and valuable accounts associated with them, such as Google, Uber, Office 365, and so on. Now, to ensure that this concept is crystal clear, we're going to move on to a detailed example. The first thing an attacker must do in order to perform a credential stuffing attack is to obtain the list of stolen username and password pairs they will be using for the attack. As mentioned previously, these lists can be found from various places like the darknet and black hat forums. Commonly, these credential lists consist of around 100,000 to over 1 million unique username and password pairs. Attackers commonly refer to these lists as combo lists, short for credential combinations. Now, manually entering these pairs by hand into the website login system would simply take months of time that the attackers don't have. Attackers use the help of automation to tackle the amount of time spent. Keep in mind, attackers are really lazy, so that's where the bots come into play. These bots help the attacker interact with the websites on a much larger scale. These bots will ingest hundreds of thousands of the credentials from the list that the attacker provides. These bots then fire these credentials off to the desired website authentication servers, as if the real user were doing so. The websites will then return the response information to the attacker based on whether the login attempt was successful or failed. Then, the bot will update that information where the attacker wishes for it to be stored. A best practice for conducting credential stuffing attacks include using spreadsheets and SQL tables for large-scale stuffing operations to better organize the results the attacker's bots receive. The overall success rate is anywhere from 2% to 3%. Now, that may not seem like much, but with hundreds of thousands of accounts and many sites, the amount of compromised accounts could be immense.